for the fans. The glory for the pinstripes.
Welcome back to Yankees Fan Central. Listen, we need to have a serious sit-down about the immediate future of our organization because the recent moves coming out of the Bronx signal a fundamental paradigm shift in how we're constructing this roster for next season. The Yankees front office just pulled off several maneuvers that carry massive implications, specifically for the shortstop position, a spot that is right now clouded with some serious uncertainty. The current scenario revolves around Anthony Volpe's continuous struggles and his recent injury, which is going to keep him on the shelf until the start of the next regular season. This forced absence raises some critical questions about whether Volpe is still the undisputed starter once he finally comes off the injured list. While a lot of fans driving on pure emotion want to believe the answer is an automatic yes, the cold reality of the numbers suggests we need to pump the brakes. Anthony Volpe, in his 539 plate appearances, posted a batting average of just 212 with an OPS of 663 and an OPS plus of 83. Management doesn't want to admit a mistake, but his performance dipped drastically and opposing pitchers mercilessly exploited his tendency to chase pitches out of the zone. Facing this production vacuum and the lack of reliable backup options last year, Brian Cashman acted to protect the franchise. We've seen official confirmation of the signing of Jonathan Ornelas to a minor league deal. Ornelas, who played 32 games with the Texas Rangers and Atlanta Braves between the years 2023 and 2025, brings that versatility we value so much, capable of playing second base, shortstop, third base, and both corners of the outfield. However, let's be real and analytical here. Ornelas' recent offensive performance in AAA was concerning, with averages of 196 at the plate, a 295 on-base percentage, and a 303 slugging percentage over 115 games. In Major League Baseball, in a small sample size of 53 career appearances, he batted a 208 average. He isn't the offensive solution, but he is the defensive insurance policy we didn't have when Volpe was healthy last year. Taught us that not having a backup shortstop on the active roster is an unforgivable tactical error. Over-relying on prospects who aren't ready yet, like George Lombard Jr., isn't a viable strategy for a team stepping onto the field with the obligation to win the World Series. The acquisition of Ornelas is a chess move to ensure that if the worst happens, we won't have to improvise players out of position in clutch moments. The true genius of the Yankees' recent moves, however, lies in the validation of the trade that brought Jose Caballero to New York. While we discuss roster depth, it is imperative to recognize that Caballero has proven to be, without a shadow of a doubt, the most reliable shortstop in the organization right now. The data doesn't lie, and it shows a stark contrast to what we gave up. Recent news confirmed that the Tampa Bay Rays experiment with Everson Pereira lasted a very short time, just 3 months after acquiring the former Yankees prospect. The Rays shipped him off to the Chicago White Sox in a multiplayer deal last Tuesday. For those who don't remember, Pereira was traded on July 31st in exchange for Caballero. At the time, there was skepticism, but objective analysis today shows a resounding victory for our side. Everson Pereira, although he showed power in the minor leagues with 18 home runs and 64 RBIs in 2 seasons, failed miserably when trying to transition to the big leagues. In 27 games with the Yankees, he had an average of 151 with 14 hits in 93 at-bats, 0 home runs, and 10 RBIs. In contrast, Jose Caballero was an absolute steal. He delivered a batting average of 266, wearing the pinstripes, tallying 21 hits, 3 home runs, and 9 RBIs in a limited stint. More importantly, he brought an elite element on the base path, stealing 15 bases and registering an OPS of 828. He is a superior defender, possesses a stronger arm, and is a smarter runner than Volpe has shown to be recently. If the season started today, logic dictates that Caballero should be the starter, allowing Volpe to recover without the crushing pressure of the Bronx. Furthermore, other minor moves deserve our attention, such as the situation with Antonio Gomez. Originally a catcher in our system, Gomez attempted a conversion to pitcher last year, but reports indicate he will likely miss the entire year of 2026 due to elbow surgery. Even so, the Yankees re-signed him, betting on the long term. All this demonstrates that Brian Cashman, often villainized, hit the bullseye by moving on from Pereira at the right moment to acquire an immediate impact player like Caballero. With the return of Trent Grisham via the qualifying offer and the maintenance of a strong core, the depth that was missing last year now seems to be addressed with seriousness and surgical precision. We are positioning ourselves not just to compete, but to dominate the defensive trenches. The Yankees are clearly operating under a safety-first philosophy this offseason. The acquisition of Jonathan Ornlas and the continued bet on Jose Caballero signal that the front office has lost patience with the lack of infield depth. Anthony Volpe's injury, while unfortunate, forced Brian Cashman's hand to recognize that the team cannot rely on a single young player at such a vital position. The win on the Everson Pereira trade validates the front office's ability to evaluate their own talent, selling high to plug immediate holes. The lingering question is Caballero just a stopgap, or will the Yankees have the guts to keep him as the starter if Volpe doesn't show offensive evolution in spring training? Yanks Nation, the ball is in your court. Do you trust Anthony Volpe to reclaim the undisputed starting spot, or do you believe Jose Caballero earned the job through solid performance and defensive consistency? Is the roster depth enough, or do we need another big name from the market? Outro, drop your opinions in the comments. I want to see the debate get heated. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Yankees Fan Central so you don't miss any exclusive updates on the Bronx Bombers. We'll keep covering every step of this offseason. See you next time.